Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Tedeschi's Shelter. I apologize for a little bit of a break. I was extremely sick, and my voice just was not up to par. So if I sound a little nasally, that is because I'm still getting over it. But I definitely wanted to get this video out to you so that we can start springboarding into more complex discussions. And what do I mean by this? Well, today I want to talk about how battles work. As long as you are not gathering or sending off APCs for national quests, the vast majority of everything you do with your APC will result in a battle. The issue most people have is that they don't fully grasp the concept of what goes on during a battle. And most of the time, people don't even know when happens. The majority of the battles that you will probably end up seeing is only going to be when you do arena battles or supply hub battles, and those you can even skip. Outside of that, most people don't even understand fully what they're watching when one is actually observed. So in order to understand how to make appropriate formations, what you're actually capable of, and whether or not attacking someone will actually do anything besides waste your resources and troops, all comes down to understanding how battles work and how to read battle reports. Now, we don't need to become experts at understanding everything about a battle, but grasping the fundamental concepts of how it works will give you a better understanding of how to focus your buffs for better results. It can also help you understand how certain hero skills apply in a battle. So in today's video, we're going to briefly talk about the basics of battles and try to help you understand some of the terminology that goes with it. This way we can use this as a springboard into more complex topics pertaining to battles, hero formations, and heroes' skills in general. Please, if you like the content and you want to see more, like and subscribe. Tune in for a live when we have them. We do some giveaways. You can do some live Q&As. We can watch some battles unfold and talk about everything LSS. And if you want to continue the discussion or you want to become more part of the community, join the Discord in the link in the description of the video below, and let's get into it. Battles happen in everything you do, from taking a tile in Doomsday to attacking a zombie and so much more. Every time you send your APC out to attack something, a battle happens. Most of the time, it's in the blink of an eye, and you don't even know that it happens. You can see every battle your APCs do in your mailbox. Battle reports from tiling to attacking zombies to arena battles to structure battles all exist in your mailbox. But let's bring it back and let's start to explain how battles work in this game. This way we can put some understanding to the terms to help you understand what is actually going on. Every time you send out your APC to accomplish a task, for example, attack a base, attack a zombie, attack a Wendell, take a tile, a battle will happen. Now your APC formation will have 3 squads of troops. The enemy should also have 3 squads of troops. This will make up for a total of 6 rows of troops during the battle. I say this to briefly bring up range for when we talk about combat skills later on. Range is the distance from the current location of the squad towards the enemy. For example, if your squad is in the last row of your APC and has a range of 2, they will not be able to hit your opponent since their first row is 3 rows away from that current squad. Now, a round of battle allows each squad to attack the opponent. There will be a minimum of 2 attacks per squad. The way this works is combat skills will be cast first, and then the turn will be over after the squad does a normal attack. The normal or basic attack is the signal that this is the last attack the squad is going to perform. Now, once each squad has attacked, the round is over, and this will continue until one side is completely wiped out or 8 rounds have passed. A battle is a total of 8 rounds maximum. Yes, there are a lot of variables that can alter and change this basic perception, but for the understanding of how a battle should go, we're going to talk in the simplest of terms and how it is supposed to operate. Now that we have this basic understanding of how a battle operates, let's get into the details. How does the game determine the order of how squads attack? Combat speed. Now don't confuse this with marching speed. Combat speed is how fast a squad can attack the opponent. The faster the combat speed, the quicker they will be able to do an attack. Marching speed is how quick you can move across the map. In saying this, the squad with the fastest combat speed will go first. If there is a tie for combat speed, then the attacker will get to move first. Tie goes to the attacker. Then it will progress from the fastest to the slowest combat speed. This will be the order the squads will attack in each round of battle. In order to give you a visual, let's look at this. In this situation, we can see all 6 rows. The top is going to be the defender, and the bottom is going to be the attacker. You can see all of the combat speeds. You can see that the defender's third row is 25, the middle row is 15, and the first row is 35, and the attacker's first row is going to be 20, middle 40, and last row is going to be 25. Now, the person that will attack first is going to be the fastest combat speed, which is the attacker's second row. This squad will attack first. Then it will go down the list. The second attacker is going to be the first row of the defender, and then the next attacker, we have a tie. Since it is a tie, the attacker will then move first, which is going to be the third row of the attacker, and then the third row for the defender. Then we're going to finish it up with the first row of the attacker, and then the middle row of the defender. This is going to be the order all squads will attack in throughout the battle. Increasing your combat speed can help you be the first to attack. The more squads you can have attack first, the better your chances of winning, since you will be the first to get to do damage to your opponent. Now, once the game has determined the order, the first thing that the squad will do is hero skills. Now, there are a few different types of hero skills that can be activated during a battle. There's prep skills, which are things that happen at the beginning of a round that can affect certain aspects of the match. There are combat skills, which are more commonly known as attacks by the hero. And then there are passive skills, skills that will happen regardless of what happens in the battle. At the beginning of the round, any prep skills that apply at that round will be cast by the heroes in the order they are assigned by combat speed. Once prep skills for the round are cast, the order will continue to repeat, and the heroes will cast a combat skill. And then once all their combat skills are cast, the squad will then perform a normal attack, signaling the end of their turn. The next squad in order of attacking will then go and do the same thing. They will cast their combat skills, and then they will finish up with a normal attack, signaling the end of their turn and the beginning of the next squad. This will continue until all squads have had a chance to do their attacks. Once they are all done, the next round will begin. This will continue for 8 rounds. Now, there are a ton of variables that go into this, but this is the most basic explanation that I can give you so you can grasp what is happening on that basic level. When a hero casts a combat skill, tactical might and resistance will take part in this type of attack. Normal might and resistance will only apply to normal attacks, but they will operate in the same way. This is going to start the talk about what do these terms mean. So let's start with the most basic of the terms and explain how they all relate to each other. Might, resistance, HP, and damage all relate to each other directly, and all troop types have a varying degree of all 4. Might refers to the ability to do damage. It does not actually cause damage or relate to the damage done to your opponent. Resistance refers to the ability to avoid taking damage. It does not directly offset any damage the squad will take. HP is the health of the unit. If one troop takes more damage than its HP, it will die. Think of it as a video game health bar. Damage is the exact amount of damage the troop will do to the opponent's HP and will determine how much you will hurt them in order to kill them. And the way that I'm going to explain how these all relate to each other is I'm going to talk about it in basic RPG format. And this is going to probably be the easiest way to explain how all four of these relate to each other. So let's take a look at player 1 and player 2. We're only going to use one troop in this example, just so you can understand how each one of these relate to each other. Player 1 is attacking player 2. Player 1 has a might of 20, a resistance of 10, a damage of 3, and an HP of 5. Player 2 has a might of 30, a resistance of 15, a damage of 6, and an HP of 3. When player 1 attacks, his might of 20 is greater than his opponent's resistance of 15. Your might and resistance will compare to each other. Since the might of the attacker is greater than the resistance of the defender, that means he is able to land a successful hit. And this means that he is able to cause damage. In this case, his damage number is 3, meaning he is able to cause 3 hits of damage to the opponent's health. Since player 2's health is 3, player 1 does 3 damage to player 2's character and kills him instantly. It's pretty easy to understand when we break it down in that sort of format. So let's talk about what happens when you attack someone well out of your league and use the same sort of setup. Player 1 is attacking player 2. Player 1 has a might of 20, a resistance of 10, a damage of 10, and a health of 20. Player 2 has a might of 40, a resistance of 50, a damage of 4, and a health of 5. Player 1 attacks first. His might of 20 cannot beat the resistance of 50, so player 1 cannot do any damage to the opponent. Player 2 takes no damage and then gets a chance to attack back. Player 2 then has a might of 40 against the opponent's 10, so he wins and is able to do his damage, which is 4 hits of damage to the opponent's 20 health, making it 16 health left. Great. But then this repeats. Player 1 still can't do any damage and player 2 can. So this will continue until player 1 loses the battle and player 2 has suffered no damage whatsoever. This is similar to a player attacking a base that is well above their power level. They cannot even scratch the surface of the enemy and are just wasting troops and the resources needed to heal them. How can we apply it on a bigger scale like the game does? Squad 1 has 100 shooters. Enemy Squad 2 has 100 fighters. Now you could look at them as each individual person. Each one has a specific HP and damage, but when you do battle, as in the examples above, damage and HP get multiplied by the amount of troops you have. So if the troop has 5 hit points each, and there are 100 of them, you can say the squad has 500 health points. If one troop causes 3 damage and there are 100 of them, your squad can cause a maximum of 300 damage. No matter how you look at it, the results are the same. In order to win a matchup or in order to cause damage to your opponent, your might needs to be higher than the opponent's resistance. If it isn't, then you will never be able to cause damage to your opponent. Now, this is where tactical might and resistance can alter things slightly since they are on a different attack wave than normal attacks. Combat skills of heroes have their own might and resistance, known as tactical might and tactical resistance. And this may be easier to win. But in the end, if you are far outclassed, the same thing will happen and you will not be able to do any damage to your opponent. Now, this simple explanation may dissuade people from attacking other bases, but remember, this is an extremely simplified look at how battles go and does not talk about any other variables that go into battles, such as prep skills, damage mitigation, technology buffs, 3 squads attacking versus just 1, etc., etc. And that is a basic understanding of how battles go and what the terminology means. I simply wanted to start the discussion of how might, resistance, damage, HP, and combat speed all play a part in how battles go, so that as we delve further into battle reports and hero skills, we can understand better what is happening on the most basic level. Understanding the basics and building on them will result in you making better battle decisions and help you adjust your troops better in the long run. This can also help you understand how to apply bonuses, what each of them actually does, and understanding how hero skills can start to work together to make killer combinations. Making sure you have a high might, high damage, and high combat speed can end battles quickly. Having an insanely large resistance can drag out fights, but may result in much lower losses. The key is to keep learning. We will build more on this video until we can talk about battle reports and understand how we can adjust our bases, troops, hero skills, and so much more in order to win our battles and look like a badass without even being the strongest person in your state. If you still don't understand anything, please leave questions in the comments below. That way we can address them as they come, and maybe I can address them in the follow-up video because we're going to get into more detailed explanations of these situations. Please, if you like the video, click that like button, subscribe for more content, check out a live, ask your questions live, let's talk, let's discuss things. I really am sorry for my voice. I know it's not my normal one, but I needed to get this video out. And join the Discord and be a part of the community. Help me focus on what you want to talk about. We can talk about other things inside the Discord that I can't talk about here, and let's get things going. Make sure you're always helping each other out. Make sure you do have a basic understanding of what's going on. It will greatly benefit you. It will benefit your alliance, and share that information so that others can be on the same page and you are working together for the same goal. Look out for each other, help each other out, and most importantly, be safe out there.